Welcome back, YouTube. Today's a great day to be different, man. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna show you guys how to be different. It's something easy, something simple, something quick. And yes, sir, we're gonna teach you guys how to apply enhancements. As you can see right here, we're gonna use that Tune 45. That is gonna be our wet enhancements. And we're gonna lay down a base. So we're using a light brown. As you can see, his hair texture, it is dark brown and light brown in certain areas. So we're gonna give it a little bit of flavor. We're gonna try to match it as much as we can. So we're gonna lay that foundation at first base with the wet enhancements with the very light brown, and we're gonna follow up with the dark brown as the dry fibers. You can see right there. So it is very important that your wet base is very wet when you apply the dry fibers, so that way it will stick. As you can see right here, wet base first. That is why I go in increments, in sections, because if you wait too long to throw the fibers onto the wet will dry and the fibers will not stick anymore. So throw the wet down first in sections, and immediately I follow up with the dry before I move on anywhere else. So we're gonna use the trimmers to clean up any overhang hairs, as you can see right there. And we detail in the middle of it. So again, we moved on to another section. Wet foundation first with the light brown, as you can see. Tapping the trigger, always sweeping, continuing to move the nozzle. This will prevent you from overspraying or over caking, keeping it from getting runny. Make sure it's a nice, thin, even coat. Then we are going to follow up with the dry fibers. The dry fibers will stick to the wet, and it will give it a much more natural look and appeal, as you can see right there. So it gets rid of that wet, shiny look from the wet enhancements, and it feels better. It feels in better. As you can see right there, how much of a difference his edge up was compared to the new growth and the hair that was already there before whoever the barber was before him pushed him back. So we are just filling this in. We're gonna push that pencil over, give it that razor blade look, as you can see right there, without having to use a razor blade. I do not like to use razor blades on younger clients or kids or people with sensitive skin. So it's very important that you learn this technique. In my opinion, it's very good to have in your bag to create that razor blade look without actually having to use a razor. Very important. But as you can see that side, we're gonna use a Q-tip to mop anything that we do not like. And that is overspray, that is too much pencil, that is anything that is stained the skin that we want to get rid of. So as you can see the difference from one side to the other, we're gonna get the other side to match. So we're gonna lay down the wet foundation first. Make sure it's nice and wet. Boom, nice and evenly coated. Me tapping the trigger, sweeping at all times. Then we're gonna follow up immediately. While the wet is still wet, we're gonna throw the dry on there. Boom, it's gonna stick, as you can see that. It's filling in. Huge difference already. Apply that vertical bar. As you can see, you can still see the wetness of the wet. So we're just gonna follow up, make sure that the wet goes away, and boom, huge difference. If you are in the comment section and you're telling me that didn't make a difference in that hairline, I applied too much enhancements, I did this, I did that, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. As you can see, that looks so much better. We're gonna push that pencil over, give it that razor blade look, the razor blade pop without having to use a razor blade. Boom, attack that corner. Sheesh, it looks so much better. It looks natural too. You can't tell me that don't look natural. Nice and clean. Then we're gonna gonna mop up anything we don't like. Using a Q-tip. I'm also stretching the skin on his forehead. We're gonna use our small sabers to clean up anything that we couldn't get. Make sure we tap that in real nicely. And boom, man. I'm gonna try to get this as even as possible. As you can see, his forehead, he has 2 knots right at the front of his forehead. So depending on which angle you are looking at this, it could potentially look crooked. It could look completely straight. It depends on how the light is hitting it. Depends on the angle. We're gonna clean up any loose hairs, any wild hairs, any excessive hairs that's hanging over. Detail work, using them shears. Hit them with some hot sauce. That's gonna disinfect. That's gonna allow me to clean up any overspray of the wet or the dry enhancements. But you guys remember what he came in looking like? You guys remember? Jeez. Yes, sir. But he came to be different, man. Ooh. Ooh, that's different. Yes, sir. Clean. Like, share, subscribe, comment, man. Do whatever you guys got to do to keep me on your timeline. It's Kriispy. And that's Kriispy. Appreciate you. Peace.